Sound on, and transition, and hello everyone. Wait, hold on. My phone. Sound on. I am live. There we go. Fix my phone sound. And there we go. Now my phone's connected. Awesome. Alright. Hello, Chip Sounder. How are you doing today? Mama, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing okay. I don't think I've been doing anything too much worth discussing. Chip Sounder says they're chilling at work. Sounds fun. I often don't have much at my job, so I often watch a lot of YouTube and stuff. But yeah. So with that, I think it's Sudoku time, because I don't have anything to share, unless you do. And then our first puzzle was recommended by Chip Sounder last time, and this puzzle is Running Round the Court, by full deck and missing a few cards. Sudoku, quadruples, and Renban lines. Standard Sudoku rules apply. The digits 1 through 9 appear in every row, column, and box. Hi Jonesy, how are you doing today? Quadruples. Digits in a quadruple circle must be placed at least once in the 4 cells touching that circle. Renban line. Digits along a Renban line must form a non-repeating set of consecutive digits in some order. Alright. Let's get started. Well, this is a 5-cell. In fact, all of these are 5-cell Renbans. Okay. Which one to start?
The quad circles,
Mm-hmm.
columns 1 and 2, both C5, and 9, and 4.
Well, I don't know if I need to fill in pencil marks, because I
Oh.
can just see the quadruples.
Columns 8 and 9, both C7 and 3. Rows 3 and 4, both C, or well, no, because it's on the intersection there.
Yeah. A little less useful, but we do know that 5 is removed from all of these cells.
Well, and row 3, column 3 cannot be 4 because of that quad circle, 5, 6, 8, 9.
Right. Well, these two quadruples both have 2 and 6 in them. And
Oh,
then
right,
this
yeah.
quadruple says the 2 isn't there. And actually it says
Well,
6s aren't here, so there's a 6.
rows 8 and 9 both see 4 and 8.
Can't have the 8 here.
And that quad circle, yeah, that one doesn't see a 5, so the 5 goes away.
Right. I did miss that earlier.
Box is 4, 5, 7, 8. That's what I was trying to come up with.
Yeah. Okay, we have 1, 5, 3, and 7. You can't put 3 or 7 here. You can't
Right.
put 3 or 7 here. So that has to be a 1-5 pair. So this isn't 1 or 5. So
And
we have
7
both.
cannot reach 1.
Right. So that's 5 and 1. Um,
And 7 and 3 would be the extremes.
yeah, because we've got 4 and 6 here. And this 6 sees 4, placing the 6. 4, placing 4. Four is gone from there. Okay. And now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 means we have to have. Excuse me. I apologize. 6 is one of these two. But that's all we know, and we already learned that from this, not from the Renban.
If we numbered the ren bands going across,
Mm-hmm.
the second one, which would be the left hand. Okay. So then 3, that one
Yeah.
is going to have a 7 on it because of the quad circle. 8 or 9, 8's definitely going to be on there, whether or not 9 is
Yeah.
on there also. So it's going to have a 7. So 7 can be placed on there because of the 3-7 pair in row
Right.
4.
And so this is 5, 8, and either 4 or 9. Where this one cannot be 4 or 9. And this one couldn't be a 4 either. And actually, this one couldn't be 4 or 9. So that's a 5, 8 pair placing a 9, because we've got 4 and 9 around this quadruple
Right.
here. That actually gives us 3 left. 1, 2, and 4. Where 2 and 4 are removed from this because they have to be on the quadruple. Okay, well that's going to place a 1 here. So this is 2, 3, 5. Placing a 6 in the middle. 7, 8, 9 I think is what's left over. And that's going to align some 8s to put 8 as one of these two. Well, if we've got a 5, 8 pair, this is 8 and this is 5, because 5 had to be in this column because of these two quadruples. This can give us a 7 and an 8, 9 pair like so. We've already got
And
a
the
9,
8,
so we need an 8. These two, I don't see 3 or 6, so the remainder are 1, 2, and 7, I believe. Which we
and the
have the
7
rest
can't
of
be at the
those.
top because of the quad circle.
Oh, the 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Oh, which is also going to
Right.
remove the 6. So that's 3, 6, and 7 is gone. 1, 2, 4. 3 is gone from here, but that's not that much.
Well, and the 5 is going to have to be on, yeah.
So we have
That
the
would be
2
1,
on here regardless.
right. Well, and that one's going to have to be 2 or 4 because it can't be 7 or 9, which are the other two in the quad circle.
Yeah.
And the 2 cannot be in column 1 because of the 2, 3, 5 at the top of the.
Yeah. If I'm looking at this correctly, one has to be one of these two because it has to go on here. Because
Right.
the only other option is a 6, which can't go here or as one of those two. So I have to have a 1 on here because I can't go up from the 5.
Right.
So 1's required, has to be one of these two, so it can't be this one, which takes out the 2. And since it's a 1, 4, that's going to be a 2 here. Does that seem right?
Yeah.
Cool.
And in the box 7, the 1 7, at the end of the Ren band can't be a 1 because it's going to have an 8 on it, and you can't get to 1. Yeah.
Right.
So there's also going to have to be a 6 on there.
So this is a 6-8 pair. Because, oh wait, I don't know why I said it was a 6-8 pair. It's those 6s along the whole set there.
Right.
Um,
And there's going to have to be a 5 on that Ren band. And it's going to have to be on.
but right,
Yeah.
because of the 5 up here. So we have to have a 6, we have to have an 8.
And then either 4 or 9.
And 4, 9, and 8 can't go here, so that's a 6. This is what, a 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's forced enough. Apparently we've got 4, 6, and 9 here, which forces an 8. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Well, now I'm missing both 2 and 3. I can't have an 8 here.
No,
Why did I say that
it's
was an
gonna have to
8?
be, I don't know. It's going to have to be 3 through 7.
Yeah. 2, 3, 6, 7. 6 and 7 is gone from here, so 2 and 3 is gone from here. There's a 6 in the column, so that's 7 and 6. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So 7 can't connect to 2, so 3 and 2. And then you've got a 4, 5 pair. 4 here places 5 and 4 and 2 and 4. 4 is gone, so that's 4, that's a 1. This is 5, that's not a 5. And I'm still confused how I ended up with an 8 on the Ren band, but
I don't know. But the last Ren band, the one there in box 9, um,
3 and 4 from right here. So 7, 8 is gone from here, and the 7 is going to fix
right.
those.
And
And
8
8,
can't go down to 3, so
5, and 6. The 5 here is going to give us 6 and 5. 8 and 4 places 9. 4, 8, 9, pair of 9s. And what's left
1
over in this
9.
column? There, we've got a 1 and a 9. It's going to fix those.
One is in box 9. 5
4,
and 8. So 3, 4,
7,
and 7. 4.
3 isn't here. Gives us a 4, 7 pair, so 5, 8, and 6. 5 is gone from this. Oh, well, this one has to be a 1 and a 2, so that gives us 3 and 2. which I could have done earlier because that's 1, 2, 5, and 6. I feel a little silly for that, but 3, 8, and 9 is what I think is left over. And then this 9 takes the 9 out of there.
One can be placed in box 8. It's the last one in the. Two can be placed in box 9. So can the 9.
What about the last 2 in row 9?
It's a 2-3 pair.
Takes out 3 from the top.
6 and 9.
6, 9 this way.
Uh-huh.
And 8 and 7.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So either this one's a 4 or this one's a 9, but I have to have a 5, and that has to be this one. Four, 7, 8, 6. Excuse me. 4, 6, 7, 8. Or 7, 8, 9, and 6. Either way, one of these two.
4. That's a 3. The top's an 8.
This is the 8 in box 6.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. 8 and 6 and 9 and 7. 4, 8, 8, 7, 6, 4, 7. 2 more left over. A 2 and a 5. There we go. That was a nice puzzle.
Yes, it was.
And I don't think I found that one on Logic Masters Germany. But Chip Sounder says to restart the puzzle. And look, you have a digit from the start. So we've got 8 red bands. I'm going to highlight real quick. Of length 5 that all need a 5 on it. So where is the 5 in row 5 and column 5? Well, the only thing that satisfies both of those is this one.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm also seeing that I could have maybe done something with the Fistomathel ring. I don't know if the puzzle really aligns itself well with that.
Yeah.
But there we go. Alright. So, I'll get some water real quick. And now we have our second puzzle. Heat on the Palindrome by Chip Sounder. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 through 9, once each in every row, column, 3x3 box. The lines in the grid are duality lines. Excuse me. Digits on the palindrome must read the same forwards as backwards. Digits on a slow thermometer must not decrease from the bulb end. Cells separated by a white dot are consecutive, and not all dots are necessarily given. Cells separated by an X sum to 10, and not all X's are necessarily given. No domino in the grid can sum to 5. The lines in the grid are duality lines. As in that they are palindrome lines and slow thermometer lines? Well, that wouldn't make sense. This would... I'm a bit confused as to what it means by the lines in the grid are duality lines. No domino in some. The bulb is the tip of the palindrome. Okay, so what you're saying is that this is connected, and the same with this one. Okay, if that is the case, then we've got one X. But nothing can sum to 5. Okay. 1, 2, 2. That could be, well, it couldn't be another 2. So it would have to be 4. Because it's going to have to be connected through something.
Oh, right, yeah.
So that's going to make 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
But it can't be 7.
Right, because, again, this one here. So that's 6, 7. 5, 6. 4, 5. 2, 3. And 1, 2. Makes this 8 or 9. And this one 3 or 4. 7 or 8. Oh, but I can't do 2, 3. So that immediately makes that 3, 4, 5. 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 7. A pair of 6s, 5, a 3. Three, 5, 6, and 7. 3, 5, 6, 7. 3, 4, and 6. 3, 4, 5, and 7. Then we lose 5 and 6 as possibilities. Okay. Well, the smallest on here could be a 3. Except this can't be a 3. And this, if this was a 3, would make this a 2, which would make them sum to 5. So the smallest on here is 4. Except we've already shown it can't be a 4, going down to a 3, because we're not allowed to have a 3. And this can't be a 4, and if this was a 4, it would go to 5, which is also not allowed because of the 4-5 pair here. So now, if the smallest was a 5, well, we've got a 5 in a row. So the smallest would be a 6, a 7, or an 8. Except if I'm saying that the smallest could be an 8, it can't be because that would make it an 8-9 pair. So the largest can't be an 8. But it's either a 6, 7.
7.
Yeah. 6,
which
7.
removes the 7 from the other palindrome.
That's true. Six, 7, 8, 9. So 1 through 5. Neither of these is a 1. This isn't a 5, and this isn't a 3. 4 or 5 is over here. And 2 or 5 is over here. I don't know if that's helpful quite yet. I'm trying to see if there's more I can do with the lack of 5s, but I'm not sure there's anything else to lace about that. Like, I can't put 2s here, so that puts the 2s like that. Can't have a 4 here, so 4s look like this. I'm missing 2s from there. Say again?
Except for row 4. Can't have a 4 in it.
Right. Two, 3, 4, 5, and 8. 3, 4, 5, 8. So now 3 has to be one of these 3, which means you can't put a 2 here. But that's it. Oh, you can't have a 4 there. Oh, where's 6 in this box? Can't be on the bottom, and this one removes it from the side. that can't be a 6. 6 isn't 3 or 4, so that's 6. So 6 is gone from here. Where is it now in this box? Not along the top, not along the side. It isn't 1 or 2, 2 or 3 or 8 or 9. So that has to be a 6 paired with a 7. Two, 5, 8, 6, and 7. 2, 5, 8, 6, and 7. Can't put a 2 there. Seven has to be one of these two, which forces it up there, along with the 6. Where is it in this box? These two 7s mark here. This 7 marks there, so this is the only spot left. 7 in one of these two spots. Seven looks like this, and that. Fives aren't too helpful. It's left in box 9. 1, 2, 4, 8, and 9. Got an 8, 9 pair here, which takes those out. And you can't put 1 or 9 here because of the 1, 9 up here. I have 8 or 9 in here. Excuse me, I have 9 in there. I don't know about the 8. One, 2, 4, 8, 9, and 3. Hmm. Okay. Well, what can go in this cell? 5 and 6 and 8 and 9. Hmm. 1, 2, 4 triples. So whatever is left here, 1, 2, 4, 3. Already got 6, 7 in the box and 7 in a row. This can't be an 8-9 pair, but if it has the other from 8 and 9, then we get 1 and 2, which would make 2 and 3. And if this is a 2, that's an 8. Which would put 9, well, not necessarily. Well, no. Because one of these has to be the opposite of 8 and 9. That is here. Because these two are the same. Unless this was an 8-9 pair, because that was a 5-6 pair. But if we did have 8 and 9, then you have 1 and 2, 3 and 2, which would be an 8, which would be an 8 here and a 9 there, because this is 6 and 8 or 9, which makes this a 5. Okay. Does it have to be a 5, though? I don't know. One, 2, 5, 7, 8, 9. Where you don't have 7 here or here, and you don't have 5 here. What am I missing? I feel like there's something obvious that I should be seeing. Okay, well, because 4 has to be one of these two, where is it in this box? It has to be along the top, because it's not here. So these two cannot be 4. We don't have 6 or 7 in any of these. We don't have 3 here or 4 or 5 there. It doesn't feel that helpful. What am I missing? Well, this 3 takes 2 out of both of these. That seems relevant. A 2, 3 means this cannot be 2 or 3. Okay, well, these 2 are the same. So where is that in here? It's not there, and it's not there, so it has to be one of these. Well, it isn't 7 or 2, 3. Then it has to be one of those 2.
Row 7 in box 8. Since a 4 has to be one of the center can't be a 1.
Right. Okay, these 2 are blue. Where's blue in this box? Not here, not there. Okay, and yellow. Yellow in this box. Pulled out of these. Yellow can't be 5 or 6. Well, blue has to be one of those 2. And red, well, it can't be 1 or 2. So red's gotta look like this. But that doesn't seem like enough information. Although I guess it's because I didn't include values over here. 1, 2 pair in red. The bottom in the middle can't be 8 or 9. Can't be here, can't be there, can't be 3 or 6. Oh, well, if that can't be red, then that can't be red. So this isn't, and this is. It could be one of those 2. Okay. Blue. Not there, not there, and it isn't a 4. Not here, not there. And now it can't be. Oh, well, it could be on the bulb. But if it was, it would be at 2. Giving me 8 and 9. Let's leave purple out for a second. Where is yellow down here? Not there. Excuse me, not those. Not 2 or 3, not 7 or 9. And now green, not there or there.
Well, in box 9, the green has to be on the top row because it can't be in the center row and it can't be 3, 1, 4, or 7. Because green is 2 or 8. And red, green, and yellow all have to be on the bottom in row 9 in box 8.
Yeah.
And 5 is not in red, green, or yellow.
And this has to be yellow because that's red and green.
And green is 2 or 8.
So it's 8. Yellow is 9. Red is 1. That is not what I meant to click. 8. Chip Sounder asks, can row 9, column 1 be a 4? I'll figure that out in a second. 9, 8, 9, the 2, 3 pairs, gonna take out 2. 8, 9. Well, it can't be because I just got a 1, so that's going to be a 4 and a 2. So that's a 5. 5, 2, 1, 8, 9, 3. 3 there. 8 and 5 is gone. This one's not a 2. This one is. This is an 8. This isn't 2 or 8. This one's apparently a 4, so that's a 3. 8 and 9 is removed from all of those. 2, 5, and 7 going across. 2, 7, not 7. 2 and 3 is gone from there. A 1, a 3. 2 and 3 is gone. Do, 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 do. Alright, these two are 1 and 4.
Yeah, 4.
7 and 3. I've got a 2, 5 pair. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the 9 here fixes that. 4 and 5 going across. 2, 4, 5, 7. Not a 5 because there's a 5 in the box.
3 and 8.
3 here, so give us those. Sounder says, go back to before I started coloring. Let's just do that real quick. And they said to ask the question as whether or not these two could be 4. That would give 8 and 9. A 1, 2, 3, and you'd have 8 problems.
Yep.
So that eliminates 4 as a possibility, forcing that to be 1, 2.
And the
Giving you a
1-2
1-2
pair.
pair for 2, 3 means you can't put a 3 there. Where else does that go? Now can row 6, column 9 be a 4? That has a lot of options, so... I mean, I've got 2 possibilities for 4 in this box. But if I asked if this was a 4, that would be a 4.
And then red would have to be a 2.
Yeah. Chip Sounder says that causes problems in box 2. Well, where are 4s in box 2? They're not here. And if that was a 4, that would be a 4 to remove this. That would be a 2. Four, 4, 2. So this would be 1, 4, or 7. If that's a 2, you get 8 and 9, 8 and 9, 2. So this would end up being 1 and 9. Still have the option for 2 and 3. Chip Center says I meant box 3. The 5 has to split up the 2, 3, but leaves 1 next to a 4. Well, this would be 3, 5, and 1. You get an 8, 1, a 2, a 3. Oh, now you get 2 2s. Row 6, column 9 is a 4, yeah. So the 4 would get forced there at 2, so that's 3, 5, and 1. Gives you an 8 and a 2. But if that's a 1, that's a 2, and you get 2 2s. So this cannot be a 4, so that one has to be. This one. Although I'm not sure I would have asked that question of whether or not one of those could be a 4. Because painting this and this seems the more natural path for asking the directions here. 4 here takes, ones out of these two. Yeah, and I'm still led to, at least personally, say what's going on with these. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily look over here, especially with how many options are in these two cells, to ask about the 4s. When I have stuff lining up that I can paint options around in, because I know that yellow has to be at the bottom here. And then, was it blue that ends up getting painted down here as well?
Well, the colors have changed because green had been at the bottom. It had been green. I think it was blue, green, and yellow.
But if I look over here, well, I have a 2-8 pair, so that actually gives me 3s, which is going to make things a little simpler. So maybe I don't need to do some painting, because 2-8 pair is going to give me a 9. This ends up being blue. So let me get rid of colors for a second while I look around for what can still be done. 3 can't be next to 2.
Column 9 is 3.
Oh yeah, 5-8 pair.
And 5-8 pair, yeah, I saw that afterwards.
Well, 3 in here has to go here, because you can't put it here for the reason of this. Got 3s is one of those two. Alright, well, red, blue, yellow, yellow, blue, red, and green. Actually, let's ignore the fact that that's green for a second, because yellow has to be one of these two. Blue has to be this one, so blue ends up being one of these two. And then,
Well, and green cannot be blue. If you make the ends of the other
right,
palindrome,
yeah, this one and that one can't be the same. So then these two are the same, and those two are the same, and the only overlap is an 8. 5, 1, 2 pair, 8, 2, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. Now I didn't necessarily need to paint these, but the logic about like where these can go sort of makes the consider 4 possibilities a little unnecessary. 2's gone, 8 and 9 is gone, 8 and 5 is gone, this one's not a 2, that one's not a 2.
Row 4, 6, 7 pair.
Right, so that one is a 2, 1, alright, I could have done that already. 2, 5 is going to place a 1, take out a 1. These two are 1 and 4, and 3 and 7. These two are 8 and 9, and the 9 here fixes those. I don't see a 4, which can't be next to a 1, and a 5, which is going to give me these. 2 can't be next to 3, so that does that. 2, 4, 5, and 7. Can't get 5 because I already have one in the box. This is just simply an 8. 3, 5, 6, and 8 is gone. 7 is already in the column. 1 is in this row. 2 and 9 is in that row. A 1 and a 4 can't be next to a 4. 1, 4, 7, and I was about to say a 3, but there's a 3 right to the left. 6 is left over. And since 6 has to be one of these two, this one's the 6, that can't be a 1.
7 here.
Right, so that's 1, that's not. These two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's already an 8 in the top row, 4, 7, and 9. 7's gone here. I somehow have a 5 in the top row because I just placed one. 4's gone from those. 2, 9 pairs, 7 and 4. 7, 9, and 4. Nope, the other way. 2, 9. 5, 4. That is one too far over. I don't see a 1, which is here, and I don't see a 2. There we go. Yeah, I would have had a hard time, even if I did ask if these could be 4, I would have had a hard time spotting the intended asking about 4s over here. Yeah, which is, yeah, and since I was able to end up locking in these without even asking about 4s in these positions, yeah, I think the palindrome logic, I'm having a hard time trying to say that I think the palindrome logic is actually like the more, I don't want to say the word reasonable, but that's the one that's popping up in my head. Signaled, maybe? Just because it is a palindrome puzzle. Like, I know it's that you can't make things sum to 5. But those, with as many options as were over here, and up here as well. Just try not to highlight the 7. Even with this one, and I don't think that one was placed yet. But yeah, Anyway, I mean, that's just where my brain went with this puzzle. So, I don't really have anything else to say about it, Mama. Do you?
Oh.
All right, then. The Eric Fruit Bat says, "Hello, Joe. Hello, Chip. See, Jonesy was here earlier as well, I believe. So they might still be around." Chip Sounder says, "There were only 2 choices in box 6 for 4, so using the negative constraint in box 3 forced the break." But I mean, I don't disagree that it led to it breaking, because we did the logic there to show that there's a the way that I did it led to 2s in here, but if you place a 4 in here, you can do the logic that creates some problems up in box 3 as well. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not trying to figure out if there's more to say here, but yeah, I don't think so. With that, I just realized I haven't been sharing the links to the puzzles. Oh well. Rat Run 2 Tenacity, and then a link. There we go. Alright, puzzle number 3 for today is going to be Rat Run 2 Tenacity by Marty Sears. Normal 8x8 Sudoku rules apply. Fill the grid with the digits 1 through 8 so that no digit repeats in a row, column, or marked 4x2 box. Aim of experiment. Finks the rat must reach the cupcake by finding a path through the maze. The path will be a snaking line that passes through the centers of cells without visiting any cell more than once, crossing itself, or passing through any thick maze walls. As well as moving orthogonally, Finks may move diagonally if there is a 2x2 space in which to do so, but may never pass diagonally through the rounded end/corner of a wall. Test constraint. In this experiment, any 2 adjacent cells along the correct path must sum to at least 10. Interesting. Well, I mean, we could just simply go there, but because the correct path has to sum to at least 10, we're going to have some restrictions on how things go. Because, well, we know that the path has to look like this. So 1 has to go over here. And I'm trying to think of where 2 could go. That's going to be difficult to place a 2 in here.
It will have to be adjacent to an 8.
Yeah.
If it's on the path.
Yeah. And we know it can't go all the way across. So it actually has to go up. Because if it went all the way across this way, it would have to include a 1, which doesn't work. Because any 2 adjacent cells along the correct path must sum to at least 10, and a 1 and an 8 is, which is the maximum I can pair, doesn't make 10. So I'm going to have to go up. Which means that I get a 1 for free. Now, I can go diagonally here, but in either case, this cell must be included. Oh, and again, I can't go all the way up. I would have to use a 1, which isn't allowed, so I must turn right. And since I have to go all the way here, I get another 1 for free. And since 1 can't be on the path, there's our diagonal. Things get a little trickier here. So maybe we work from this end of things. I cannot use all of these. But I have to get into this box eventually. I have to get in here eventually. And the only way I get into here, even if I took a roundabout path that went like this, I have to use this cell.
Right.
And if I went to the right, I couldn't go all the way to the wall, which would be the only option if I went to here. So we know that neither of those are available, and if this one isn't available, that one isn't. So I either have this path or this path as options. Okay, well, 2 has to be one of these two cells, which would make 8 one of these two cells. On the other side of the 8 would have to be a 3, which would then have to be a 7. Seven would pair with 4 and 6. And 5? Is that how that has to go?
I think
Or
so.
am I thinking of things wrong? Because I definitely can't put 2 in the middle anywhere, so 2 is forced on the ends. And then it's going to have to be an 8. 3 has to be surrounded by 7 and 8, so 3 has to be the next one in, which forces the 7. 4 has to be bounded by a 7 and a 6. So yeah, so that gives us 4 on the opposite side and then a 6. And then the last possible digit is a 5, so yeah. So 2, 5, 6, 8, 3, 4. 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, 7. You can't put a 1 on the cupcake. Alright, 3, 4, 7, and then we have 6 or 8. 1, 2, 5, 6 or 8. Tallcat says you can do similar logic in box 6 as the line covers the whole box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, box 5. Right. 2. And then immediately 8. 3, 7. So I should just be placing 3 4s, 6 8s, and 2 5s.
Now, on that diagonal from box 5 to box 7, can't have a 2 on it, so those are both 5s.
There we go. 8s are gone. 6s are gone. Can't have a 1 on here.
And you can't have a 2 because above it, the highest is a 7.
Right.
Cupcake.
And now this 2 can't go to the right immediately, because
It has
it would
to
have
be
to go
8.
to an 8. So we go around this way. And now this has to be an 8. And now because we have a little bit more freedom,
Well, it's still gonna be a 2 or a 3 after the 8.
um,
Oh, no, it
not
could be more.
necessarily,
Never mind.
yeah. But we do know we can't get any of these, which I could just place a wall. Tallcat says, the more puzzles of these you do, the more you realize that Marty automatically has you do the craziest route you can think. It is definitely an interesting route when you could have just, the mouse could have just gone straight to the cupcake.
Only it couldn't.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Well, we know that this cell's required, and so it's going to have to go around like so. Chip Sounder says 2 placed next to 8 for 10 sum. Are you referring to row 4, column 3? This cell here? It has to be at least 10. So I actually can place anything here.
Up to 1.
Yeah. Because it depends, like, if this goes like this, then I have a lot of options in box 3. But if I take up the rest of it, I have more. But Tallcat says you can do more with the path in box 4 because of the whole box logic. Right, I can't go this way, because then I'd have to include a 1. So this wall is blocked off, and so we can go up to here. And if this wall is blocked off, then so is that one. And regardless of how this happens, I have to take this path. And this one's removed. That one's removed.
Well, you can't take any more of column 1.
Yeah. I was trying to look at the rows
Oh.
because we've got quite a bit of it used up.
Well, consider that in rows 1 and 2, you have to have 2 1s.
Yeah.
And one of those is gonna have to be in box 2. which is going to have to be on that
Right.
top row, which places the 1 in box. Well, not necessarily in box 1, but
But with box 2, we can sort of consider the fact that it has to take up pretty much all of the box. Oh, but it doesn't have to take up one of these up here. And that could be a 1-2 pair. Let's see.
well, we know in column 4, what's left is 2, 3, and 7. Or
So
no,
2, 3, 7, 4, 3, 4, and 7.
3, 4, and 7.
Yeah. Which means 7 has to be one of those two, so it's not the lowest one. Places 7 as one of these two. I guess I could go ahead and put the remainder in the
Well,
column.
and okay, if the top of column 4 is a 3,
Yeah,
3 has to be bounded by 4 and or by 7 and 8. Well, it can't go to 8.
right.
It would be 7 below, so that can't be 3.
4, 1, 5, and 8. Can't put a 2 there. And neither of those are 7.
All right.
Okay. The line can't go down here then.
Right.
Because
Because the high 3 and 6 is 9, so you can't hit 10 or more going down.
yeah. So that's going to be a red line that has to go this way.
And it's got to go down. And so that can't go be a 1. So now 1 could be placed in box 1. Is this the only puzzle you've put in a link?
Yeah, in the chat. I'm updating the video description to include the other puzzles.
Yeah.
So I forgot to put them in chat, which I apologize greatly for. Yeah, I don't know why I'm putting so many gaps in there.
Yeah, I saw that. I was just the one in box 3, but I was just waiting for Robert to get done.
One in box 3. Well, it has to be
Right.
one of these two. Do we have a connection? Oh, yes, we do, because this
The
has to go
maze has
straight
to
down.
come down,
Yep.
which now you know that that it turns.
It could go diagonal here, or it could go like this.
Oh, well, there's that.
So, save. And now the video puzzle links are in the video description. So you should be able to, if you wanted to go back and look at the other puzzles. Might need to refresh your screen. It's not the right button. There we go. Yep, on my phone it shows them. Yeah, I apologize for not putting them in chat, which is what I usually do. I was rushing because I got set up a little late.
Okay, column 2 is left with 4, 5, and 8. And 8 has to be in box 1.
Yeah. Well, if I put it on top, this would be 4 and 5, which is not going to work. So that has to go like this. And I can't use a 3 with 4 or 5, so this is a 6. 6 is gone from all of those. I think I can get rid of some extra lines here. What's left over in column 1? 1, 7, 4, 8, and 3. What's left over going across? 7, 3, 8, and 2. 7, 3, 8, and 2. And you can't put a 1 on the line. Hmm. Do, do, do. Okay, this can't be a 2. If it was, it would be the end of the line. Or it would have to connect to another 8. So it's not a 2. So if I went up here, this would have to be the 3 and then the 7. If I connect directly, this would have to be a 7.
Right.
But those are opposite possibilities.
Well, if we go from the circled 4, 5, 6 in the middle of the grid,
Yeah,
it's going to have to go up to a 4, 5, or 4, 5, 6, or 7. There is no 9.
yeah. And then minimum 3. Again, minimum 3. And again, minimum 3. So I can't put a 2 anywhere on here. Because again,
Right.
I'd have to have it be surrounded on both sides by 8.
Which
So this
places
is
the
2. 5, 6, 2. 3, 7 pair places a 2. 4 and 5. 7, 3, 4.
3 has to go to 7 because there's an 8 in the. Yeah.
Yeah, I misjudged the
7,
fact that those were in the same box.
right. It's going to have to either go to 3 or 8.
And I can't put a 2 here, so that's a 1-2 pair. And if I connected to a 2, I would have to be 8s on both sides. So that's not allowed. I can't put a 4 in the middle of 5 and 6.
Well,
And I
and
can't put a
3
5
can't
between
connect to
4.
4, 5, or 6.
Right.
Well, column 5 has a 4, 5, 6 triple.
4, 5, 6, 5. So 1, 2, 8. Both 4 and 5 have a minimum number of 6. And I already have a 6 in a row. So this has to be 7 or 8. What's left over in this row? 2, 8, either 3 or 7. Well, we know one of these two is a 6, because they can't be a 4-5 pair. So this is the 4. That makes these a 5-6 pair. 4s are gone. Tallcat says 3 in row 4 cannot go on the long line in box 4 because it would need a 7 next to it
And
on
nothing
both
on the, and
sides.
there's nothing for the other side. Yeah.
Yeah. So 3 ends up here. So 3 and 7. And because 3 can't directly connect to 5, it goes through the 7. 7s are gone from the top row, so that's 8. 8s are gone, so we get 1, 2, 3.
And that's 5 on the cupcake.
Yes.
And the 3 comes off above the 5.
Right.
Column 8 has a 6, 7 pair.
Oh, it does. So that's 1, and not a 7. 2, 3. 1s are gone, 3s are gone. This one's a 1, so this one isn't. That's not. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these X's, because I've got the little walls here. If I went up, This would have to be an 8 and a 7. 4 or 6. And 5 or 6. Oh. That would be a 4 and a 6 or a 6 and a 5. But if I went the other way around, then this would have to be 6 or 7. This would have to be a 6 and a 7. Okay. If I went to the left here, because I have 3, 6, and 7, 3 doesn't work anywhere, because it would have to go to the 4. So 3 can't go next to 4, and 3 can't go next to 6. So the 3 would be removed as an option. So it has to go up, which makes this a 7 and an 8. 2, a 1, an 8, a 2. Not a 7, not a 7, 1, 3, 2. 7, 6, 7, 3.
Well, the row 4, column 6 cannot be a 4 because it can't connect to 4 or 5.
First try. Yay, congrats. Experiment completed successfully. Cells visited 41. Finks continues to surpass predicted outcomes across all 4 cognitive performance metrics and will therefore progress to a full-size maze in Stage 3 with no further training required. Alright. I did feel like I took that one a little slowly. But here it is on Logic Masters Germany. There's a lot of these. Column 7, cells that are on the path. Okay. Doot, submit. First try. I would say that this one was a pretty easy one. I did get distracted a few different times with I mean, there was the part where I needed to add links to the video description because I forgot to put them in chat, and then I forgot about the thing that I figured out with the whole box thing, and I believe it was Tallcat who pointed out for both boxes 6 and 4 the restriction that I couldn't do the whole box.
Right.
Box 5. Yeah, Tallcat did point out that in both of those. And also says that Season 3 of the Rat Run by Marty Sears is coming out soon. So that's pretty cool. This was a fun puzzle. I really like themed puzzles. They're just a lot more fun. There was the puzzles. Nala is the only name I can remember from it.
Oh, yeah.
Where another name that starts with S, I think. But they're the Fog of War puzzles where the dog is trying to find their toy or something. River and Nala. River doesn't sound right. But I I could very definitely be wrong because I'm trying to
River
remember
doesn't
through
sound right either, but I
Sandra and Nala, maybe?
that sounds possible.
Yeah, it looks like it's Sandra and Nala. Looking up on Logic Masters Germany. But yeah, and Talk, I think, got that a little bit before me because I used a window on my other screen. But yeah. Okay, yeah, if River's their Discord name, that makes sense why. I'm not very active in the Cracking the Cryptic Discord, which I should probably fix one of these days and actually, advertise my channel there because I'm doing quite a bit of puzzles that are also featured on Cracking the Cryptic, and also it's just a generic, or not generic, but it's a place for solvers and setters and stuff to talk and whatnot. One of the main reasons I haven't been active is I don't really know what to do or say, and advertising makes me feel weird a little bit. But I guess it's just something we need to figure out. But with that, I want to tackle one more puzzle if we can. We've got 14 minutes left in stream, and we can go a little late. It's not going to be a huge deal. So hopefully this one's.
I
Say
can
again?
sleep in tomorrow. I can sleep in tomorrow, so
Oh, nice.
I'm not concerned.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and get this one in the puzzle link in chat. Excuse me. And, I didn't mean to do that. Refresh. Let's read the rules. All right, last puzzle for tonight. Kropke Cave by Ben Needham. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Shade some cells, walls, such that they form orthogonally connected regions that must touch an edge of the grid. Similarly, leave some cells unshaded, tunnels, to form a single orthogonally connected path, which may not touch itself diagonally and does not branch. No 2x2 area of the grid may be completely shaded or unshaded, and cells marked with a square indicate how many cells, including themselves, they see orthogonally. Walls block their view, but they may themselves be walls, and white dots indicate consecutive digits along the path. All white dots are shown, and black dots indicate that cells are in a 1:2 ratio within the wall. All black dots are shown. Note that dots do not disclose relationships between shaded and unshaded cells. But do the black dots? Because black dots indicate that cells are in 1:2 ratio within the wall? I'm a little confused, but white dots indicate consecutive digits along the path. All white dots are shown, and black dots indicate that cells... Oh! Note that dots do not disclose relationships because we have all of the white dots and all of the black dots, but if I have, say, a shaded cell and an unshaded cell, and I put a 2 and a 4 here, this isn't a problem because the black dots are only shaded, whereas white dots are unshaded. So I believe that is what is going on here. Okay. And then no 2x2s. 2x2s, no 2x2s. Doesn't branch. Doesn't branch, then this has to be a wall. Doesn't branch, so these have to be walls. No 2x2s. And then no 2x2s, and if it doesn't branch, those have to be. And then it has to connect. No 2x2s, and then it has to continue.
Oh, box 3,
Doesn't
it has
branch.
to continue.
Box 3 has to continue, like you said.
No, box 1, it doesn't branch.
This has to reach the wall. Doesn't branch. No 2x2s. And then must continue. Must continue. Doesn't branch. Must continue. Doesn't branch. And now, well, it could reach... No, because this has to connect to here, so there's no way for this to get to the wall. So this... Well, these have to connect. Uh-oh.
Something's wrong.
This has to reach out to the wall. This has to escape. I'm just gonna start over real fast. Two by twos, 2x2s, 2x2s, no 2x2s, no 2x2s, and then does not branch.
And does not connect diagonally between boxes 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Yeah, it cannot touch itself diagonally.
Yeah.
So row
Oh,
5,
right
column
here.
3 can't be. Yeah.
My
Sorry, I
apologies.
was unclear.
So this one should also be. But I don't think you were unclear. I think I was just not grasping. Because I think I was skipping those before as well. So like here, this is all covered. And now that's a 2x2. And now branching. Then must continue. Well, actually, leaves some cells unshaded tunnel to form a single orthogonally connected path which may not touch itself diagonally and does not branch. Is there anything that tells us where it starts and ends?
No.
So if we don't know if it's where it starts and ends, then I think I want to avoid extending the path until I learn the beginning and ends.
All right. Now in box 5, it will have to connect. Otherwise, well, yeah, because otherwise it would have to branch for what's up in box 1.
Yeah, we definitely have an end up here. So if this didn't connect, I would now have 3 ends. I should have done that. This.
But if we look at what comes down from box 1 and what goes up from box 7, they can't connect to both of those and through to box 5 because then it would branch.
So this has to be an end over here.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, these connect. And we're going to have to connect this way. But this reaches the wall through here.
Right.
Because over here, it can't. So this, and it can't because these have to connect. So this has to connect this way to the wall. So that succeeded. And then this doesn't branch, so that has to go there. I don't know what I messed up before, but I think it was something in here. But I guess I am glad I reset because I didn't finish the logic when I was extending over on this side. But these have to be walls.
Well, and what's in box 3 and in box 5 do have to extend out at least one.
Yes. Two, 4, 8. 1 and 8 are gone. Those could be 3, 6. All right. Well, for the 2-to-1 ratio dots, the reason I know it's 1, 2, 4, and 8 as the only possibilities is that 5, 7, and 9 are all odd and so cannot be halved. But when they're doubled, they go to 10 or more. So 5, 7, and 9 are options. And then 3 and 6 are the connect together, but they're the only 2 in their chain. So I can't have 3 together. But I can put a 3 and a pair of 6s around this way. So that's why 3 and 6 is still an option. But 5 and 7 and 9 still aren't.
Row 1, column 7, that square.
Yeah. Is it 4?
It's 4. So that tells us box 6, that little square. If the path goes straight up instead of turning, then it would be a 4, so it has to turn, yeah.
And then it can't. So it has to go this way. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not a 4. This one is 1 or 2, because it might start here.
Well, it could be more than 2. Oh, no, because...
No, because down is a wall.
Yeah. Right. I was thinking wall pieces. No, it's how many.
Yeah, cells marked with a square indicate how many cells, including themselves, they see orthogonally. Walls block their view, but they may themselves be walls. Could... Well, I mean, depending on your interpretation, I'm assuming this means 4, because the rules don't say that it means cells marked with a square indicate how many tunnel cells they see. You could interpret this to mean this sees 4, 5, 6, 7.
But
I don't
walls
think
block
that's
their
how it's
view.
supposed to be read. Yeah. Yeah. Chip Sounder says square in box 4 is at most 5. That is true. Although, if it was a 5, it would look like this, which would have to be a branch. So it cannot be a 5. And, well, it could be a 1 if this just went past it.
And right, if it's a wall.
Yeah. Now we also do have the negative constraint. For the crocky dots and such. Since this 4 goes to a chain, it could go down 4, 3, 2, or it could go up 4, 5, 6.
Well, the black crocky dot to its right,
yeah,
cannot be 4, 8, and it cannot be 3, 6, because the white cropkies use a 3 or a 6. So that has to be 1, 2.
Right. Okay. So then that makes this 6 and 5. And then 3, 7, 8, 9 is what's left over. Now, this could be a 3, even though it's in a 2-to-1 ratio between a shaded and unshaded cell. The dots aren't important for that. It's just within the walls, you can't have 2-to-1 ratios unless it's a black crocky dot. Oh, these are actually pretty heavily restricted now. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 are the only options. On the right side, 1, 2, and 4 are gone, so it can't be an 8. Or excuse me, still be an 8, because you can have a 4 over here, except for the fact that I must use both 2 and 4 over here. So 2 and 4 is gone, so I can't have an 8. And 2 is gone, so I can't have a 1. So this must be a 3-6 pair, where the 3 is on the left and the 6 on the right. So now this isn't a 3. And now what? This isn't 3, 6, so it has to be 2, 4, or 8. It can't be a 1, 2 because of the 1, 2 at the top. Three or 5 here next to a 4.
The black crocky dot in row 9 can't be 4, 8, or 3, 6. Yeah. It's a 1, 2. Yeah. Are all those squares what?
Are all the squares given?
Well, why wouldn't they be?
No, just the crocky dots. Well, because the crocky dots are a negative constraint, but I don't think the squares are.
Right.
Yeah. Chip Sounder says a 3 can't go next to a 2 or 4 in box 5, except only within the path. So this is fine between shaded and unshaded. Jonesy says an 8 goes on the white crocky box in box 9. And Chip Sounder says, so in the gray, it doesn't matter. It's in the walls, the gray cells, they cannot be in a 2-to-1 ratio. And on the path, they cannot be consecutive unless the crocky dot is there. So I can have consecutive digits on the walls, and I can have digits in a 2-to-1 ratio on the path, the tunnel. But well,
At least that's how it's being interpreted at the moment.
yeah. Because white dots indicate consecutive digits along the path. And all white dots are shown, and black dots indicate that cells are in a 1-to-2 ratio within the wall, and all black dots are shown. Note that dots do not disclose relationships between shaded and unshaded cells, which is why this is fine. Because that's the only way that that can work. And this one over here. And that's the only way that that one works. Anyway, Jonesy said that I have to put an 8 over here. 8 goes on the white croppy box, or white croppy dot.
Well, 1 and 2
because
are
2, 4,
3
and
doesn't
6.
work. Right, 2, 4, and 6, yeah.
So that gives me 1
That's
and 2.
faster.
Jonesy says, okay, so there is a negative constraint along the path and inside the walls respectively. That is my understanding, yes. I would be interested to see if this one ends up being 2 or 4, because it's next to a 3. But I'm going to operate under the assumption that the white croppy dots are only for the path. And so I can have consecutive digits in the wall. If 2 and 4 are removed, then this has to be 6 or 8. And then that would be, well, if 6 is gone, then for the 6, 5, 7, and for the 8, 7 or 9. Chip Sounder says, that's what I was seeing, and it was wrong. I get it now. I'm not 100% certain you're wrong yet, but because of the way it's worded, I'm going with white croppy dots have to be along the path. Even though the note says that dots do not disclose relationships between shaded and unshaded cells, but we'll see what happens. So that one for sure doesn't need a dot to operate. This one here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 5, and 6 are clearly removed. And I can't use a 3 because this one can't be 2 or 4. So I can put a 1 here and a 3 there. Or I can have 6, 8. Oh, if I did 6, 8, this would be the 8. And then 8 would be surrounded by 7 and 9. So those are the options there.
Well, in column 7, a 3 cannot be in box 1 because it would be next to the 4. So it's going to have to be in box 9.
Alright, can't put 3 there. That's not a 3. We removed 3 as an option because of the 2, 4 here. And then the 1 has to be here because it can't be there. So then 3. So yeah, 3 is one of these two. Two, 4, 6, 8. 6 is the only one that's removed.
No, that's not a black crop key. Those are consecutive.
Those are just the odds, or excuse me, just the evens.
Oh, just the evens. Okay.
And
but you have to understand my confusion there.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand. Was trying to see if it was restricted enough. I mean, I could put 1 and 5. Oh, there's already a 5. So 4 doesn't work because 3 and 5 is already gone. But the 8 is surrounded by 7 and 9. And then here, Jonesy says not 2, I guess. I don't think there's a reason it can't be 2.
Oh, yes.
The
Look
1, 2 on the
1
left
or
side.
2. Yeah.
Okay, that gives me a 7, 8, 9 triple. So 1, 2, and 4 is remaining. And that's pretty restrictive here. A 2, a 1, and a 5. Ah, I can't do 3 or 5, so this has to be a 1, 2 pair. And I can't do a 3. 1, 2... Well, that just restricts this one, so it's either 4, 8 or 3, 6. Whereas this one could be 3, 6 or 2 or 8. Chip Sounder says 6 can't go next to 7 in box 2, and that is correct. We cannot put those together because consecutive digits along the path must have a dot. And down here in box 9, can't put a 7 next to a 6 without a black crop key, or excuse me, a white crop key dot. Okay, a 3 would go to 2 or 4, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. Where it can't have an 8, because I already know there's an 8 over here, which removes 9 from the top. This has to have, wait, Chip Sounder says row 6, column 4, not a 7. 7 in box 2 looks down, yes. And now one of these two has to be 6 or 8. Because it's either a 3, 6 or a 4, 8. So one of them is a 6, 8. And that goes 6, 7, 8, 9. So this one, 6, 7, 8, 9 is removed. So is 1 and 2. So is 3. And I can't put a 4 there because of this. So this must be a 5. And we lose 5s here. 3 is gone, so that's 3 and 6. So now the 8 is removed. So there's 8 there. 8, 9, 6 has to go to 7. 2, 3. So
9,
if that's
8,
a 9.
7. And then 3, 2, 1, yeah.
4, 8 removes 3, 6 possibilities. This can't be a 4, so this is 4, this is 8. 2 and 4. And that forces 8. which I should have
Oh,
seen sooner, but... Second?
nothing. I didn't see the 2 at first, and I started to say, "Septic no, it can't."
Yeah. Do, 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 do. 5, 7, 8, 9. Got a 7, 8 here. And a 5, 8 there, so that's 7, 8, 9. So this is 5. 1, 2, 4. So we can't have 1, and that's not a 2 in the middle, it's a 4. Oh, well, that means this has to be yellow. But yeah, so it does look like we can have consecutive digits within the walls. Unless I've done something horribly wrong.
Yeah. Column
Which is not
7 is left
impossible.
with 6, 7, and 9. Column 6? I
Ah,
think I said 6. I don't know.
I heard column 7, but I could be having hearing problems again. I think this is 1 and 2, and this 2 fixes things.
Well, and I could have
And
simply said it wrong, so.
yeah, 9. It is the time of nap. I am losing my brain somewhat.
I haven't had mine with me all day.
3 or 4 means that I can't just go straight up. Chip Sounder asks, where is the 6 in box 6? Well, it's neither of these two.
And it
So it
can't
has
be
to be
next
one
to
of
the 5
these.
inches on
Right.
the path.
Can't be next to the 5. Which I am echoing for some random reason, which isn't
And now
particularly
you can do
helpful.
2 in box 6.
It's none of these, so it has to be one of those, and this is the only place it can be. So there's that. 8 and 2, 4 over here, and it has to see 4 cells in this part, which is probably these. But it could also be this way. I can't think of another option, so I think these 3 are forced then.
Yeah.
And it's one of those two. Because it can't look like this.
Right.
Yeah, of these 5, one of them is missing. It can't be this one or that one. So these 2 have to be yellow. And it can't be this one, because then it would be like that. So it has to be this one. No 2x2s, no 2x2s, no 2x2s. Alright, we've got 3 left over here, 1, 5, and 9, and it looks like 1 and 5 are already in this box. And you can't put a 5 next to a 4 without a croppy dot.
Well, and the white cropped dot in box 7 is going to have to be 5, 6, or 7. Or because 6 is the only even.
So that takes out 6 as an option up here. So the top one cannot be a 7 because it would need 6 or 8, and the 6 and that 8 remove that possibility, so this isn't a 7. So now it's a 3 going to a 4, or an 8 going to 7 or 9. Well, if this is even, it's an 8. And if this one is even, it's 6 or 8. So this is either 7 or 9.
Can't be 6 because of the one in box 7.
Right. So 7, 8, 9. We already have a 9 in row 4. And so if 8 is required here, this is the 3 pairing with the 4. 7, 9 pair places an 8. Places an 8.
7, 9. 1, 5, 6 is left in box 1, and 5 is on the left.
Five, 6, 7, 9. 5, so 7, 9 pair, 5 and 6. What about the remaining 3 in here? I don't see 3, 7, or 9.
Can't be 3 next to 4.
Right. 3, 7, 9, and a 6. And if this one isn't a 6, that one is. This isn't a 3. We get a 7, 9 pair. The 2 in row 5, according to Jonesy, is here. And then I think it's an 8 in row 5 as well. 4 and 7, I believe, is what's left over. And can't put the 4 next to the 5, even if the 4 in column 8 wasn't there. And I think this is a 3. Over here, 7, 9, and 8. So 7, 8, 9, 7, 9, which couldn't have been a 7 because the next was 6 anyway. And it's 9 and 8, and 7, and 6 and 9, 5, 6. Still missing a 3. So let's finish the box, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 and 5, 3 and 7. 1 places these. Don't know what those are. This one, actually all 3 of these are finished. 3, 5, and 9, where we get a 3, 5, and a 9. So 6 can't be next to 7, 8 can't be next to 7. So there we go. First try. And grab this from Logic Masters Germany if possible. I don't think it was Crafty Cave Loop, so that doesn't seem like the right puzzle. Yeah, it was a very interesting puzzle. I liked that one. So yeah, that is going to be that. Let me properly add this to my video description. This one was sourced from here. And then the Sudoku pad link. And then save that. And that is going to be that. I'm going to go ahead and go straight to the thank you for watching screen. And I greatly appreciate everyone who is here today, especially everyone in chat, whose names are Chip Sounder in first place, Jonesy in second place, Tallcat in third place, and the Eric the Fruit Bat in fourth place, with the gamified chat features. Yeah. And they're all very good setters. Check out their puzzles in Logic Masters Germany, or wherever you can find the links to their puzzles. There's a Discord for Cracking the Cryptic, which you can find if you go to the Cracking the Cryptic channel. Highly recommend doing that. But with that, now that I've done advertising other people, which I'm happy to do, so I don't know why I'm commenting on that. Anyway, end of stream stuff. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fancy YouTube engagement stuff. If you'd like to see more content on this channel, Sudoku is at 8 p.m. Eastern Time between Mondays and Wednesdays. Usually 2 days that week between of the 2 of those 3 days. However, next week will just be Monday, November 24th. And if you'd like to see me play cooperative games, I will be playing Sanctum 2 this Saturday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you would like to see me play The Last of Us Part 1, make sure to ring the notification bell, because I do not schedule those streams in advance, if you'd like to catch that. But of course, the VOD is always available since I'm streaming on YouTube. Or will quickly be available after the stream ends. But yeah, aside from that, is there any other fancy YouTube engagement stuff? I guess you can share the stream. That's also really helpful as well. And yeah. Alright, I think I've said all of the things. Mama, can you think of anything I missed?
No.
Alright. Have a good night, everyone.